Alright, all you listeners to the madness and those out there whose hearing has finally recovered after a weekend filled with fireworks or thunder, depending on where you live, welcome back to Under the Radar. Now, originally, folks, we were going to update you guys on what's been going on since the 4th of July weekend, but after what happened this day, I got a feeling that over supersedes what just happened on the 4th of July, because while I was heading out, folks, trying to make my way through town, apparently a thunderstorm happened so severe that not only we had hail, high winds that broke windows, doors, and anything that is glass material, but also it looked like you can actually shoot Highlander in the, I guess, downtown area of where I live. And to make matters worse, folks, while I was sitting in the car with my mom waiting to take her back where she needs to be via a train, yeah, the train was gonna take her home since my car couldn't really make it, apparently the train wouldn't show up. We were sitting there for 3 hours waiting for a non-existent train giving us high hopes for nothing. And my mom was the one who suggests, yeah, put that on the show, that'll be funny. And I said, yeah, it would be, but not for the person who had to go through it. But nevertheless, ladies and gentlemen, besides that bit of bad news, I was able to turn into some form of comedy. I think it's time for us to take out our left-handed scissors and cut out some very interesting newspaper clippings for another edition of Yesterday's News, with the longest intro we've had to date. Anyway, the first news story that we have, folks, for you Worm fans out there, those who've been looking and craving for a brand new version of Worms, I have some good news for you, because Team 17 is bringing back the Worms game once again, and this time bigger than it once was before. Because not only it will include real-time battles with well over 32 players, a battle royale mode, and even a deathmatch mode, but it also features a cross-play game environment that you guys can play. Not only for PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, but for the PC as well. And it even gives you the option to customize your own Worms in any silly outfit that you could think of. Now, here's hoping you get a chance to design your own stage in that one too, and it will really make my day. And if you guys and gals out there want to go ahead and check out this awesome trailer for this game that is a part of the Indies initiative from Sony, you can go ahead and head on over to the website only known as GameInformer.com to check it out for yourselves. And in other yesterday's news, and a little bit of irony with that indie initiative that we mentioned before, it seems like PlayStation has announced the indie initiative, which means they'll be talking about several cool games that is going to be hitting the scene over the next couple of months. And the best part about it is, folks, besides the game of Worms Rumble, you also have certain other games entitled Haven, Carto, Creeks, Recompile, Fist, Marquette, or Maquette? You know what, we'll go with the second one, Heavenly Bodies, which sort of reminds me of that one wrestler or tag team that was featured in the WWF, and finally, Where the Heart Is. And I, for one, after looking at pictures from all of these cool titles, can't wait until I can get my hands on these indie games. And for those out there who wants to check out those said indie titles, just like I do, you can head on over to the website only known as GameInformer.com to check out all of these cool indie games, including the one we just mentioned for Worms Rumble, for yourselves. And as a little bit of a hint, the game Fist is one of those platforming games that involves you in a giant oversized mech. And you can't go wrong with a giant mech, just like you can't go wrong with shotguns in an open field like game. I mean, a lot of people would say otherwise, but hey, different opinions to me. And in other news, For you fans out there of the old classic game of Star Wars Bounty Hunter, I have some good news for you. Because it's been announced for you fans out there of the game of Star Wars Bounty Hunter that they've now come out with a brand new 6-inch tall version of the Jango Fett figurine from Star Wars Bounty Hunter. Now, what I hope for in the near future, besides giving you a chance to play as Jango Fett with this figurine, they also have Amari Vosa, Count Dooku, I guess the pilot who helped pilot the Slave One, and even Jango's old rival who helped him out or test his skills the second they made it to the Moon of the Dead. Yeah, have all of them included in the set too. That would be pretty cool. And for those out there who wants to pre-order this figure before it comes out as of September 15th, which Maestro told me it's not out yet, it'll be out in September, you can head on over to the website only known as GameStop.com under their Toy Collectible Collective Figures to check it out for yourself. And in other yesterday's news, and an exciting news for you fans out there of Ed Sheeran. Or Sheeran? You know, I always got that wrong as a kid, but according to the Maestro Ed Sheeran, with their song Perfect, it looks like OHP would come up with the perfect metal cover for that said song by doing a drums cover of the song, with guitar, oh so metal, included in there as well. And I, for one, who've heard this song a long time ago at a school dance many a moons ago, really do love the metal cover of this song and hope that once things go back to normal, or as normal as they're gonna get, they actually feature this at a school prom. How cool would that be? But then again, you gotta wonder who would actually play that song. And the only person I can think of besides OHP is that band that was featured in the movie School Dance of the Dead. Yeah, they could play it too. And a cool cover too. And for those out there who wants to check out this cool cover that OHP was able to whip up from this past weekend, you can go ahead and head on over to his YouTube page, only known as OHP, to check it out for yourself. And with that said, folks, wraps it up for another classic post-4th of July edition of yesterday's news. With no fireworks or American flag backdrop since we couldn't find it. And I guess with that said, folks, we might as well head back into this music, and when we return, we'll be back with more radioactive or cobalt madness that you can shake a badge at right after this. So don't go anywhere just yet, folks, and stay tuned.